Welcome to the No Limits podcast, where breakthrough strategies in therapeutic education help neurodivergent children learn, connect, and grow in powerful new ways.
Hi, and welcome to the No Limits Method for students with unique abilities. My name is Joslin. I am the CEO of Ability Plus Therapy, which is a therapy company for the last 21 years working in the neuro realm. So we specialize. Also, I am the co-founder of both No Limits Academy, which is a school for kids with unique abilities, and I'm also the co-founder of No Limits Method, which is how we teach in No Limits Academy, and it's an educational technology platform that is online for you to access to do what we've done over the last 19 years. So today, my special guest and my wonderful son, Matthew Joslin. Welcome, Matthew.
Hi, it's wonderful to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. So we're going to talk a little bit about his experience. No Limits Academy was actually born out of my need to educate Matthew. I'd already gone through the public school system and the private school system with my son Shane, which his videos and podcasts about who he is earlier in this series. But Matt came to me with some very unique challenges. And as I was trying to negotiate the public school system again with Matthew, I saw that it would completely fail him. They couldn't put in place what I needed to get Matthew to a certain point in his life with the medical and educational challenges that Matthew came to me. And if you haven't seen our first podcast and you happen to come on to this one, you can go back and see how Matt came to be in my family as an adopted child. So, what's really important, though, is you to hear from people that have experienced this over the years, have experienced No Limits Academy and what the No Limits Method has done for them. So, Matt, how has your experience at No Limits Academy and No Limits Method transformed your life? And in that, can you give me an example of what we did that was different?
Well, to start with a little bit of context, what the initial school system I was a part of saw as insurmountable obstacles to just deal with. Thankfully, my mom and this entire school saw as opportunities for my growth and ability to move forward.
Can you give us an example of what helped you build your cognitive march, like your thinking and your awareness and all of those things to the point where you could actually, be educated? At the time you were coming here, you were verbal. Let me just say that. You were nonverbal before, and then you were verbal.
Yes.
So, but tell me what maybe deficits you have that weren't thought of in the public school system, and then what we changed here in the method.
I feel it best to go off my top 5 and the changes that led to with the actual school itself. For one, it came down to the fact that they wouldn't give me the time necessary to process or understand what was going on. For 2, they did not understand my struggles with context of the subjects I was learning.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And for 3, which honestly spills out into 4 and 5, the adaptation and everything else that comes with it was very poor, if rarely thought of at all.
Mm-hmm.
But with the school specifically, not only was I given teachers that understand the medical and mental deficits and needs that I do have, but also that would give me the time and patience necessary in order for me to articulate what is being asked of me. Not to mention the fact that with technology like Dragon Naturally Speaking, I did not have to work against my natural fingers in order to write a paper or move forward with any assignment that I was doing. And I was never looked down upon at this school for needing more attempts to fully understand where I went wrong. The main issue with the normal school system is that it tends to be a one and done, teach to the test kind of issue. And it doesn't focus on the needs or the growth of the actual student.
And how did that help you, like, when you had, like, a collaborative team around you? And who was that collaborative team around you that, like, helped you be able to, like, move through some of those things that really would have just frustrated you, and you would have graduated with, like, a special diploma or something, where here you graduated,
Legitimately
yes, graduated, and you took your ACT, right? So,
yes.
so we knew what you had to hit. What did that team look like for you?
Well, we had many different players in this all-star team of education, I would say it in that sense. One of which actually, for a brief time, included my own brother, whom you've met and gotten to know in previous episodes. For a while, he was actually my philosophy and world religions teacher, as well as briefly being my English teacher for a little while. But beyond him, excellent as he is, there was also Jared, one of the former teachers here. Yes, he now works as a pastor for his father's church.
And he was on some previous episodes talking about, his time here with us.
Yes.
So also, like, who else is here? Like, you have OTs and PTs that were helping you.
Many.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And speech therapists that were saying, OTs that were saying your crow-neck fingers couldn't type, and that the ability to get tired out,
yes,
was going to really impact your ability to, like, do your papers and actually put out what you knew. So then
yes,
speech therapy comes in with the dictation and the dictation software and the understanding of how we do all that.
As well as helping me set the pace necessary so that it comes out as if I was writing a paper.
Exactly.
Rather than just speaking to an assistive
right
technology.
Well, that would be the teacher teaching you how to flip, like, from speaking like we're speaking now to actually speaking like you're writing, right?
Yes.
That's the technical of the teacher. So all of these components set you up for success.
They have to go together, much like the pieces of a puzzle, for you to actually get the entire picture and understand where to move forward from there.
Correct. So, Matt, that was part of, like, what we did with you, and what I realized to the public and private systems with Shane, and then when you came along, I realized that there was just much more to you as a disabled person, and we looked at from you up, like from our life plans, where that whole team sits and literally thinks about how they can cross over between these realms of therapy and education.
Correct.
It is really important on how you succeeded. You graduated from No Limits Academy, and you took an ACT. Tell me where you went from there.
Well, the ACT was a lot to handle, as it is for anyone taking the test.
Mm-hmm.
But what I had to deal with uniquely, that a lot of people outside my scenario don't necessarily have to, is I had to take the test in multiple sittings. Most test taking places under quote unquote neurotypical circumstances would not allow for it to be stretched out and taken time like that to accurately portray the actual knowledge that I do have.
Right. So we became, No Limits Academy became an ACT and SAT certified testing site. So we also had a lot of therapists who were helping write letters so that we could get what your knowledge base was out in a way. So I truly believe that a lot of times, there's not even a number on the data statistics that say that disabled people can succeed, so that becomes a problem because all of these systems put in place like a factory, it is not meeting those needs of the kids and the people that can, but need those adaptations in their lives or need that. And that's not giving them a pass, that's giving them what they need to succeed. So, and you went on to college.
Yes.
What happened?
Well, because of being able to do my ACT, I was able to actually go on to college. Because of that, I was able to not only prove my skills in math, which I'm very happy about because I used to struggle with that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Which is cognitive growth, so.
But it's also due to the spatial manipulation of
100%.
different formulas and such to
Absolutely.
actually get the correct answer, which
spatial relations.
If I did not have the proper accommodations or the ability to move around what I was dealing with, I could not actively show my aptitude for what was being asked of me.
Absolutely. So you graduated with your associate's degree from Eastern Florida State, right? So, and you mentioned Jared a little bit. What are you doing with him now that he's a pastor? And what are you, because not everyone will go completely to college and go on to their PhD,
Right.
There's different levels to people succeeding. What's your success?
Well, first of all, to put it into perspective, success doesn't mean automatically going to college or even getting a trade. It's going to the point of whatever the top of your ability is.
Right.
That is your definition of success.
Correct.
Do not let a piece of paper or society define what that is for you.
Right.
But on that topic, what I define for myself as my road to success is that back when I was 12, God gave me the calling to be a pastor, and ever since then, I am very thankful to have had multiple mentors to help me down that road. Currently, the one I've been dealing with the most to help me continue is Jared, because he is the secondary pastor at his father's church, and he is now walking me down, step by step, the roads and tools necessary I will need to be able to make my own way of showing people the proper way of how to live.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and you've taken some theology classes online too.
Yes.
Yeah, with Coursera, right?
I've gotten at least 3 different certificates of knowledge and completion as far as Science and Religion 101, as far as early history, church persecution,
Mm-hmm.
and as far as how to properly read and interpret the Bible.
Right. So, and that's at your own pace too,
Yes.
right? Because not everyone goes at the same pace,
Yes.
right? So not everyone has the same push forward. I learn differently than you learn,
Yes.
But, Matt, that is really amazing. Like, I'm blown away and proud of you. Like, I really am. Because you show people, like, that disabilities don't define, your march forward. And I'm really happy that you're in my life, actually.
Thank you. Honestly, if done correctly, having a disability is only supposed to be a framing device for the person that you are, not the entire picture of how you move forward.
Mm.
You are much more than your disability, but your disability is a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to accept every part of yourself to be able to move forward.
Amen to that. Okay. Well, thank you for listening today to the No Limits podcast for students with unique abilities. And I hope you have an amazing, great day. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you very much, and God bless all of you.